that. How you doing? Doing all right? Feeling good? You guys nervous? You feel comfortable? You feel good about the game? Feeling as good as one can feel before a major rivalry game. I don't care who, the two teams have been up to this point. It's been my experience always that there's a nervous energy that accompanies games like this, even when you feel good about it. A year ago, Tom and I both predicted that Florida State would blow Miami out. I went in on Miami early last year and said I thought we would hammer them, that it wouldn't be a competitive football game in the slightest. And it wasn't, and we were right. And 45-3 was not only great affirmation, but great joy for us to sit and watch. I don't feel that way this weekend. I don't feel the same vibes. I think Florida State wins the game. I'm comfortable with Florida State being favored by 14. I like Florida State to wear Miami down. But this does not have the same feel as last year's game going into it, Tom. Even down there, I felt like Miami was not in a place where they could be competitive with Florida State. That Florida State was gelling and the team was coming together at just the right time. And Miami didn't have anything that they could fall back on and feel good about. This year, the circumstances have changed. Florida State is better than they were a year ago and really good and feeling pretty good about themselves. But Miami's better than they were a year ago. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, there are more complications. Some of it is Florida State's health. Some of it is trying to project what the hell Miami's going to be on offense with the quarterback position in the air. On the ground, they're formidable. There's no doubt. They are formidable on the ground. But, if you can't pass the ball or if Van Dyke's going to give us the ball 2 or 3 times, then it doesn't matter that they're competitive on the ground because we're going to be so far ahead that part of the game is not going to be material to the outcome, to the way the game is played, to the way hopefully we enjoy it in the second half. At what point could you be in a rocking chair?
Buddy.
Last year we felt first half for sure we can be in a rocking chair. This year, I would be a little surprised if at halftime we're laughing. I'd be surprised if it was that early.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that early that you're in a rocking chair. I think that maybe 10 minutes to go in the game, something transpires where you go, okay, there it is. There it is. That's the one. That's the dagger. That's going to be too difficult to overcome for them at this point. And, one of the things that happens too, playing this game at home, is that atmosphere will be phenomenal tomorrow. And we know that.
Yep.
It will just be, I'm really excited for our friends from Ireland who I spoke to just before we came on the air today. I did an interview that you produced. Brendan Meehan, who's, represents the Aer Lingus group that is obviously the sponsor for 2024, this year's game 2023 with Navy and Notre Dame for the College Football Classic. And I talked with Brendan when we were over in Ireland, we were in Dublin, and I had a great conversation with him. It was nice. You guys can hear that tomorrow on the pregame show, but they're in town. That contingent is in town, and they are excited to take in this rivalry. And I'm excited for him to take in the rivalry because in the States, obviously, this game and these games in general, college football is a passion for people in this country, just as the NFL is. And it's interesting to talk to people from Ireland because they'll get a game or there'll be a soccer match or a rugby match or something along those lines that they're passionate about. But it's a small country. It's a small island. There's not 50 stadiums across the island of Ireland that are going to have 90,000 strong in them. That's what happens in college football every weekend. And then there are games like this that are singularly different than anything that goes on over there. So he'll get to experience this rivalry tomorrow, and it's loud. It is the energy surrounding this particular game, not unlike Florida, just it's just different. You feel it when you wake up.
Yeah, I feel oddly enough, the players have talked about this for decades, that there's more respect for
amongst
Miami, amongst the players. I feel like the Florida game kickoff and the atmosphere before the pomp circumstance is more respectful. When you get into the stadium, the two bands are on the field together. They play the anthem together. There's a little bit more of a crisp coolness in the air. Miami, it moves around on the schedule. So sometimes it's going to be 110 heat index, and sometimes it'll be in November.
Yeah.
But there's a consistency with the Florida game, which I feel like is more cordial to begin. This is just rowdy as hell. This is rowdy as hell in the stands, around the tailgate lots. I'm sure Hotel Indigo will be a blast tomorrow as we start at 12:30. But for a fact that atmosphere tomorrow is going to be an all-timer. We got a chance to go 10-0. This is what Michael Langston is calling the biggest recruiting class he's ever or weekend he's ever covered Jimbo included, because you're looking at upwards of a dozen 5-stars on campus this weekend, 115 players. So all of that energy is going to be there in every facet, from the fans, the players, the coaching staff getting on the field, embracing the moment. Mike Norvell knows how big this weekend is. You're going to feel that energy tomorrow when you wake up and you get to the tailgate lots. Hell, when we get to Corner Pocket today, I can't wait to feel that juice.
Yeah.
The Friday afternoon happy hour juice for a situation like this, a rivalry weekend, especially when we're top 5 in the country. Buddy, it's not going to disappoint tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic.
It will be fantastic, and we just got to recruit. For those of you that didn't see it, 4-star cornerback Jamari Howard commits to Florida State. I like the quote, "There is so much love there right now," quote unquote, from Jamari. He's right. It is. It's a good time to be a Nole. It's always a good time to be a Nole, but it's especially true when you're winning and you have a healthy culture and you've got buy-in and belief and then affirmation with wins on the field and fans wanting to be a part of it again, coming to town, these sellouts time and again, that energy, again, not any greater than what you're going to have out there tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. That's going to be amazing. And I've been a part of this rivalry and covering it for a very long time. I started covering on the air 1998. It's weird for me to say out loud. Here it is, 2023.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so for 25 years,
silver anniversary.
Yeah, I've had the good I've had an incredible good fortune to be a part of this, and I've been on the wrong side of it, been on the right side of it, and everything in between, where you watch games that are a foregone conclusion, others where upsets happen, others where it's going to come down to the wire and you just don't know. I try to each one of them get a feel, and you're not always right. I've just had a hard time getting a feel for this one. Last year, I thought that this was an easy game to predict, a little less so this year. Again, I like Florida State in this game. I don't have that nervous feeling that I've had before where I've thought, this could be an upset. This could be, we are primed for an upset or something like that. I don't feel that way, but I don't because I want to blow them out every time. I love beating their ass. I hate Miami, as I've said repeatedly. And so I would love in my mind to have this, vetted to where I think, oh, this is a 24-point win. This is a 28-point win.
Yeah,
but I can't get there right now.
It's possible, though.
It's certainly possible. It depends on the health of Van Dyke.
And the health of our wide receivers. I think if Keon and Johnny had just come off of 100-yard games apiece on the road at Pitt, you'd feel better about the situation.
Sure.
But not knowing what percentage they're going to be, let's say they both play. Are they 100%? Can they participate the entirety of the game, or are they on a pitch count? All these little things, they matter, considering that you don't have the cavalry at the wide receiver position, at least from the injury report last weekend. You look at the depth chart, and we made a graphic for that this week on some other stuff on Warchant TV. But of the 8 receivers that are listed on the depth chart, 2 were fully healthy last week. 2.
It's crazy to think about. It's really the only thing kind of holding us back, right? Where we're saying,
well, if Miami wants to stack the box and we don't have a healthy Keon or Johnny Wilson, that changes things. It could be annoying into the second half. And look, if Pitt scores on that 80-plus yard play
last week, could have been annoying last week.
That could have been annoying well into the fourth quarter. Could have been. Now, if you get them back healthy, everything relaxes and you go, all right, yeah, go ahead, stack the box, leave them in one-on-ones. Good luck to you.
Definitely want to know not just that they're playing, because I think we feel really good about Johnny Wilson playing. I can tell you that. But I do think it matters greatly the relative health of those two players, even if they're both playing. If they're not themselves, then you do have a problem. I have no reason to believe they won't play, though. We'll know tomorrow. I might know tonight. Who knows? I'm fishing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, it's Miami week.
You got to fish. Now I want to know. Now I want to get some insight. Now I want us to be able to do the pregame show and just think about the matchups and not the question marks. Okay, this matchup favors us, this one doesn't. How do you avoid this problem? How do you emphasize this element of what you do to take advantage of this weakness for Miami? I want to break the game down that way and not be worried about the question marks surrounding personnel. And because that changes everything about the discussion.
But in the end, if you think about it as a 60-minute contest, it's going to be very tough for Miami to make it to the end of that race, to the championship rounds. That's the thing. Even if Van Dyke plays, and let's say he's relatively healthy, and even if We may be a little bit limited at receiver. Let's say one of your two guys is 100%, the other one is limited, but he can play. Yeah. He's dressing and he's on the field. Man, it's tough to go 60 minutes with us. We've
proven that a lot.
Yeah, we focus a lot on the inconsistencies of the first half for the first few games of the season. Was you can't get off to a clean start. Can we ever get off to a clean start? Like ever, please. And then post bye week, most of the time we're dominating, but sometimes it takes a little longer than we'd like. Last week we put the game away in the third quarter. Against Duke, it was in the fourth quarter. You're trailing at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and you put the game away. It's hard to go the distance with us.
Think about it this way, too. When surrounding all of that angst, really it's 2 games and they were back-to-back that you could legitimately think in your heart, we might lose this game. They were 2 very different games, but they were back-to-back. Boston College, you won 31-29, and when Boston College makes the stop on third down, and then you see the face mask, it's the first time you truly exhaled. Because if that had not been a face mask, they got the stop, they're going to get the ball back, and who knows? All right, so that one, damn it, man, came down to the last seconds of the football game. And then obviously the game at Memorial Stadium against Clemson, what a slog. I mean, what a nightmare for us. Everything outside the second quarter was really hard to watch from an offensive standpoint. And you felt like you were on the verge of breaking, that they were on the cusp of making the play, making the kick or whatever that would put us away, and they just never did. And we finally made a play and we win in overtime. But all the other games, even the Duke game, when you get the stop on fourth down, Tom, I thought, oh, it's over. They're done. We're going to go score. They're tired. They're not going to be able to stop us here. Barring a turnover, we're going to go down and score, and then that is good night, Irene. And you end up winning that game 38-20.
Yeah.
And, of course, you were never – I know it got awkward and weird. You give up the opening kickoff of the second half to Virginia Tech, and all of a sudden you're kind of like, really? Really, this team? Come on, guys. But we got off to a 22-0 start in that game.
Yeah, the energy for the Virginia Tech one was exactly what you're saying. It's really like we're going to win, but you're going to make us keep our starters in for the entirety of the game, and it's that kind of a moment.
You never worried against Wake. You were never. I mean, I guess last week was the first time since Clemson where there's a moment where you're kind of like, this is getting uncomfortable.
You're definitely inconvenienced, and you're borderline saying, "Yo." Hang on now. Hang on now. I remember I tweeted out the Samuel L. Hold on to your butts.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, what? This is
well, we didn't have anything. I mean, when you have injuries, that's different. I mean, you and I texted each other, and I'm like, we can't block them, and we don't have anything going on offense. This is a problem. And we were both in the same place in that moment. Like, there's nothing. They haven't found the thing.
Right.
They hadn't found the thing at that point.
You feel like it's to 17. They got 7 on the board, and we took away 7 in a unlikely fashion.
Bizarre play, yeah.
Hey, man, whoa.
Don't do this, guys.
I'm pretty sure we'll get to 17 first, but let's not dilly-dally. Let's not dilly-dally, because if they get to 14, we're in real trouble.
You know what's fun about this game, though, is not just that it's Miami, obviously, and in that everybody will be charged up, but it's a twofer. Because you said it best. If you're 10-0, you're 11-0. And it's so true. It's so weird. It's like winning that first game on opening day in Major League Baseball. It's just bizarre. And then you have the next day off. It counts for 2. Feels like it does. So this game, if you walk out of that stadium, if you walk out of Doak Campbell Stadium on Saturday and Florida State's victorious over their arch rival Miami, and they do so, I don't care if it's by a point or by 40. Well, I do care. I'd rather be by 40. But however they win, if they win, walk out knowing you're 11-0. You're 11-0. You're not 10-0. You're 11-0. Yep. North Alabama ain't beating you.
Yep. You're
so
a roadie to Gainesville.
You
against
are
a beleaguered bunch away from going 12-0.
Yeah, you are a November 25th road game against Florida away from an undefeated regular season. Those don't just come around all that often, even when you're really good. I mean, you can go back and look at a lot of those Bama teams that didn't go undefeated. I mean, it's hard to go undefeated. And you'll be a game away.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. You know what? Let's go ahead and
go 12-0.
Yeah,
I like going 12-0. 12-0 is good. It's good for your resume. It's good for your profile. It's good for recruiting. And you talk about the emphasis on recruiting. I mean, we hear all kinds of whispers when you go into a big game, and a lot of the kids that are high-profile kids that have been well documented as, leaning one way or another within the state, whether it's Miami or Florida State, whatever it might be. And these are the 4- and 5-star kids that you battle your rivals for. This is what really makes or breaks coaches and gives you opportunities to be consistent and remain elite. And that, that this games like this have an impact on those kids. And the fact that, Napier, and we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but the fact that Napier botched it last week and they lost at home to Arkansas put something on the table that I didn't think would be on the table because I thought they'd beat Arkansas. And had they were probably going to go to a bowl. I mean, they would have gone to a bowl, right? And so when you're rebuilding, it's the little things you need to be able to say to recruits. Hey, we're not where we want to be. That's why I'm recruiting you. But by the way, we've taken a step forward. We're going bowling this year. Help us go over the top. All the things you have to lie to them about and say. But also, sometimes there's signs of real progress like that. But when you go backwards, when you go from having made a bowl to not having made a bowl the following year, which is distinctly possible for Florida at this point.
And they were 6-7 last year.
That's what I'm saying. But 6-6 got them to a bowl where they got thrashed. But that they at least could say, hey, I went to a bowl my first year. We're going again. It's going to be great. No, you didn't go this year. Oh, you took a step back, did you? Goodness gracious.
You're looking at 11-14 in your first 2 years as the head coach. 11-14.
It's a toughie. But, if you have a chance now to say, well, I understand Florida's recruiting you hard and you really are interested, I get it. It's a hell of a thing to get an offer from one of the big three in this state. You should be proud of yourself. You're a good player. I just know that it's rare you see a coach dig out from under a losing season the year after having taken the team to a bowl. It seems that they're going to have a hard time. They're going to have a real hard time. Right now, we're 12-0. So,
yeah. Young man. They put up 14 against us yesterday, which is more than I wanted them to score. But that's as many losses as he has in the last 2 seasons.
Also, we only scored 37, but 37-14. It was a little disappointing.
But you watched the game. It could have been 49. And you know what? With you, it would have been.
It would have been. Yeah, certainly feels like it. Maybe 2 more touchdowns with you. That's the kind of game breaker you are at wide receiver. But this is where we.
Can I interest you in a new truck?
Or a hooker.
Whoa.
Or both.
No. That's the other program. That's the other program we're playing tomorrow.
It was a joke. It's Libations Friday. It's a loosey-goosey edition of the program.
Nevin Shapiro. Big ups.
He's in prison, is he? Or is he out?
Probably. Was it he and Donna Shalala and Frank Haith in several photos together?
It was the best. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Good old Frank Haith. Yeah. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. Be fun to talk with him. I'm sure he's bitterly disappointed after last weekend's result. We'll have to ask him about that game and how he feels about this game, amongst others. Jeff Cameron Show. Back for more in a minute.
Hello, I'm Dana Brooks.
And I'm Jimmy Basic.
Traffic cameras are everywhere, providing valuable evidence if you've been in an accident.
But if you can't access that evidence, it could just be your word against theirs.
Basic Brooks is partnered with Roadproof to have access to all their traffic camera footage. If you've been hurt in an accident, give us a call and we'll find out if the proof you need is out there.
Let us find your video evidence so you can come back stronger. Call us now at 850-777-7777.
Warning. The following Zaxby's ad may contain messaging upsetting to Philadelphians. Zaxby's took the iconic Philly sandwich, the quote-unquote perfect Philly sandwich, and made it perfecter by putting fried chicken on it. That's right, fried chicken on a Philly. And while Philadelphia might find it offensive, you can find it at your local Zaxby's. Finally, the Philly done right. Woo, sausage! Zaxby's.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
This is Jamie McClenny with Trek Financial in Tallahassee. While domestic equities closed down for the third consecutive month at the end of October, valuations remain near historic highs based on most historic metrics. Managing downside risk in your portfolio is one of the biggest challenges you will face in retirement. While you can't control performance, you can control the risk in your portfolio. Markets are going to do what markets are going to do, but a clearly defined risk management protocol can help to mitigate large drawdowns in your retirement nest egg. Valuations remain near historic highs based on most historic metrics. If you're concerned where this might be headed, give me a call at 850-900-5200 and schedule a time for a risk-focused portfolio review. Or you can visit us on our website at trektlh.com. That's trektlh.com.
Make Jamie your first call for that second opinion. Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpa's, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu. Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The bungalow chung, Jeff?
Is that what is the pork?
The bungalow chung, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chungla. It's delicious. All these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996. We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back.
They are the defending champs of that conference. They can play. They can play. So we finally open up the season tonight. We're one of only 5 teams in Division I who have yet to play. Gonzaga, Hawaii, Wright State, UNC Greensboro, they haven't played, and neither have we.
We're late to the party?
Very late. We're one of the last 5 teams to play a game.
I didn't notice.
Saw the women win last night.
Yes, they
How
did.
How about that? Nicely done.
Down to the final possession.
That was a hell of a game. You got 2 teams in the 90s of that game last night.
Did you have the over?
It was I don't bet women's basketball. My God,
come on, you bet NFL preseason.
I can bet. There are a lot of things to bet that are better than betting women's basketball. But yeah, there you go. That was good, and that was really, quite frankly, it was a great game. It was a lot of fun. Men tonight. Let's see if they can get off to a better start, man. The out of conference a year ago was a disaster. We were 1-9 at the start of last season. Basically, this team had doomed themselves to an awful year before they ever got into conference play. So that you got to start better. Probably would have preferred somebody other than get us on this game. All right. Now, so this we were excited about. It's always fun with my man Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, and today will be no different. Lee, welcome in. Your boys come limping to Tallahassee tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun, but we got to get the latest on the mindset of the Canes, who scored a robust 6 points last Saturday. How are you, brother?
A lot of fun for you. It's not fun for me.
Oh, man.
That was that combined with the Dolphin game, so I was so frustrated, and I don't do this very often. I'll just sit there and take it like a man. But at halftime, when the Dolphins fell behind 21-0, I had enough from the night before in the Dolphin game. Literally took the dog and went to the farmer's market and didn't come back till the fourth quarter of the Dolphin game. So
well done. Get outside, get some fresh air, enjoy yourself, be with your dog.
Yeah, I just, it was frustrating. Here's the problem. There was like 3 or 4 things that really bothered me, and I tweeted it out. Tyler Van Dyke should have been pulled at halftime. You watched the Miami game?
Oh, he's seeing ghosts everywhere.
Yeah.
He laid down in a clean pocket.
I'll never forget this. One time I was helping coach my high school, and the quarterback comes to the sideline. They're playing a really good team. It wasn't going so well. And so the coach asked him, "What do you see?" He goes, "I see like 15 players."
Well, you played quarterback. Have you ever been in a position where things have gone wrong consistently enough that all of a sudden you recognize, like, I'm not where I need to be mentally here. I mean, I'm not in a good place.
Not so much me. I mean, sometimes, I'll never forget this. One of the state playoff games I was in, we scored a touchdown the first drive. It was so easy, and I'm seeing my offensive linemen celebrating on the bench, and I'm like, oh no, this is not going well. We never scored another point. So we weren't able to turn the switch back on. But I've never felt like that. But you see it. This kid, Tyler Van Dyke, from the late second quarter on, I don't think he tried to pass farther than a slant, which is 10 to 12 yards. He was checking down. I don't know if he did. They said he had a back injury on top of his leg injury. I'm not so sure that he didn't have a concussion.
Well, when I watch, Lee, this is weird. So listen, all jokes aside, I look at this Miami team, and whenever we're facing anybody, Tom and I do the pregame show together as well. Right. And so we go back through and deep dive all of the team's games leading up to our game so that we can try to give an honest assessment of what a guy is capable of or not.
Right.
So Van Dyke 2 years ago in the second half of this game was sensational. He played.
How about against Texas A&M?
Right. So there have been moments, Lee, moments where he looked like the real deal. Now, unfortunately for him, he's been stockpiling a lot of moments where he doesn't look like the real deal. And I do think last year's game, they were dumb to play him. He was clearly hurt.
Right. And
Florida State blew Miami out, and that whole thing went south. I think he's hurt right now, but I also think his psyche is broken. If they start him in this game here with these fans, this place is ravenous right now, Lee. This is a 9-0 team on the cusp. They can see the finish line. They can see the college football playoff. They can see a championship. They can see an undefeated regular season, and they hate Miami. And you know what this place can be like. They start that kid in this game. And he starts off slow. This kid avalanche.
I agree. So I wouldn't start him. What also bothered me, go back and look at the tape. Miami, when they're down, I think it was 17-6 at the time, or maybe it was 13-6. When they had the ball at, I think, the 2-yard line, they had 4th and 1. They showed a formation. And, well, first of all, if you're going to run, let's say, the spread option, and you're going to hike the ball back to a quarterback 4th and 1, that quarterback better have a running threat. There was no threat that he was going to run the ball. So what did they do? They line up in the formation, and North Carolina State calls timeout. The play started, and they showed a run right up the middle, the same play that they run 15 times a game. What did they do after the timeout? They ran the same play, got stuffed. So that, to me, was a horrible decision by Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator. Here's the way I break down this game. Let's start with the game and just,
Yeah, Florida State 14. Okay, got it. Tell me what you like.
Jordan Travis and this FSU offense only turned the ball over 5 times in 9 games here. I think the FSU defense, I think you can move on them. I think they can run on them some. Fletcher in the offense, this running back.
I like your running backs, yeah.
Great. Well, he's the guy. He's the dude. The offensive line much improved. Defensive front 7 is improved except for the North Carolina game. But I think in the end, even if Miami's within 10 points, 14 points, the FSU defense closes door in the fourth quarter on teams. FSU, 37-17.
Is there frustration about, first of all, who do you think starts at quarterback? Do you think they start him?
They shouldn't, but who knows with Mario? Mario might be the worst in-game coach that I've seen in college football, the NFL, since Rich Kotite.
Oh, my God, Rich Kotite. Good Lord, we're going back to the Jets?
Yeah.
Man. I mean, I will – listen, when Miami hired him, obviously it was about hiring one of their own who can really recruit. And he can recruit. He can recruit. But the problem is it's a race, right? It's a race to get to having enough good players where you can overcome his in-game coaching.
Yeah.
And if you don't win that race and you lose enough games, then you lose the players and they walk. And so it's like an interesting time for him. I mean, this could be a very weird ending. If they get blown out here, man, he's going to be up against it going into next season. All right.
It's what's crazy is not losing any recruits right now.
Not yet.
I know. It's amazing. So
we'll see.
So I think Florida State in the end wins probably by minimum 17, maybe 21 points.
Louisiana minus 10.5 against Southern Miss. We already had that game. Did we not? Did we do that? Let's see. Did I miss that?
Yeah.
Last night, Southern Miss wins the game. Michigan minus 4.5 against Penn State, and we don't know. I mean, we should get something any minute now about whether or not Harbaugh is going to be on that plane.
Crazy. I mean, they should have announced it yesterday. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't know by then. That's typical NCAA. Felt that Penn State going on the road, ranked number 3 after playing no one to start the season, they were going to be up against Ohio State, and it happened. 0 for 15 on the first 15 third down conversions until I think a minute to go in the game. Now Michigan, ranked number 2, hasn't played anyone here. Biggest game in James Franklin's coaching career. He's got to play with the lead. They got to be up 7 to 10 points at half or in the third quarter. He's got to be aggressive. They showed their play calling was atrocious in that game. His in-game decision-making, terrible. Got to come up with a big play here. And their defense, too. You have the number 1 and number 2 defense. How do you lay 4.5 on the road? I can't. I'll take Penn State. I think they pull off the upset here, 24-21, and I'm going to make a prediction. I think that all 3 of the top teams in the Big Ten will all have 1 loss.
Good, because that means you think Michigan will turn around and beat Ohio State.
Yep.
All right. I don't think that's crazy. It's just hard for me to pick James Franklin in a game that matters because he never wins them.
No,
so
he loses this game, might be talk to getting rid of him.
He just never wins any of these games. I mean, it's like one time in his career. It's crazy. Does Georgia kill Ole Miss?
You know, I don't think the spread matters so much here. This could be 3 or 13. Ole Miss has got to play to win. That's Lane Kiffin's whole way that he approaches the game. Once he gets to the third quarter, if they're not winning the game, every time they get the 4th down, he gets beyond his 40-yard line. It's not 4th and 10 or longer. He'll start going for it. I just don't think that they can run against Ole Miss here. I like Georgia 34-17.
Florida State, you already gave us San Francisco and Jacksonville. Big game for Jacksonville. Big game for San Francisco, who's hit some speed bumps here all of a sudden. And all of a sudden, Brock Purdy looks very, very human. They're giving 3 points to Jacksonville. I was kind of surprised by the number. Who do you like?
Yeah, I was too. San Francisco, when they were really good early in the season, they dominated the clock. They would hold the ball 34 to 36 minutes. 3 losses where they scored 17 points in all 3 games. Well, they held it for 28, 25, and 26 minutes here. Deebo Samuel might play, but he could be gone in this series. I've never seen a guy built like that gets hurt more often. Trent Williams, left tackle, might play. He's not 100%. I like Jacksonville. Defense never gets talked about, but most takeaways with 18, and I think this team's coming of age. Jacksonville, 26-20.
Fun game for your free play for those that want to get it. It's LSU and Florida. LSU given 13.5. How can folks get it, Lee?
Well, this is what we're going to do. The first 5 callers that want to get this game, I'm going to give it to them for free. LSU and Florida. First 5 callers, I have a strong opinion. 800-400-9741. Get LSU and Florida on me. And how about this? 15 years where we rate the games from 10 to 50 units. We have never had 240 to 50 unit plays in one weekend. What we are going to do is we're going to roll out 2 biggies here. We're 62-20 on these games going back the last 15 years. You want to get 2 40 to 50 unit plays, one in college, one in the NFL, plus 5 other games. Normally, you've got to be a monthly or season subscriber. Just $117. One place, ParamountSports.com.
The good news, as your friend, I don't have to do any of that, and you can just text me these 40 or 50.
I know you like it easy.
Be good, brother, man.
Number, if you have to do 2 things, I know that's tough for you.
Have a good weekend and enjoy this ass kicking.
Okay. All right.
Bye. Well, he's a good sport about it. I've really, if you're a Miami fan, you were excited about the hiring because Mario can recruit. He can, and he's done a good job of recruiting. And he did a good job this offseason in the portal. But the in-game coaching is it's a real thing. It's been bad. It's always been bad. He's bad at it. His players reflect it. There's a tightness that goes on there in the way that they play.
I'm just glad that Lee embraces how bad Mario is at in-game coaching.
That was awesome. He broke out Rich Kotite. A lot of my listeners don't have any idea who Rich Kotite is. This goes back a long time. Rich Kotite is arguably had the most disastrous run of any head coach in NFL history. Was just, an abomination to coaching. And he just compared Mario Cristobal to Rich Kotite. Good God almighty. I remember beleaguered-ass Rich Kotite. You could see that faraway look on his face like, oh, I'm in over my head.
I like how it didn't break him on Saturday. He was staggered, but he wasn't broken by the 6 points on the road at NC State. But on Sunday, when he wakes up and he watches the game from Germany, he's like, I'm done. I'm over this. I got to leave.
I can't do this.
Turn off the TV. I got to go.
Rich Kotite is now, by the way, 80-plus years old. I just pulled it up. I was going to tease Matthew because Kotite was also coach with the Eagles for 3 years before he was born. I remember watching that too. And I remember him with the Jets. And he screamed doofus. The look on his face with those glasses and the hat that never kind of fit quite right, he just looked ridiculous. Every time you saw him, you'd be like, look at Rich Kotite.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that doofus. Bless his heart. Chef Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The Gadsden County School District partnered with local law enforcement and first responders Wednesday to strategize their response for potential active shooter situations. Gadsden County School Superintendent Elijah Keys said the purpose of Wednesday's training is to make sure all agencies in the county are working together in the event of an active shooter. Keys said this training will keep the district in proactive mindset, preparing for the worst before it happens. The ultimate goal is to make sure students can be safely reunited with their parents after an emergency. The next phase of this process is for officials to implement their strategies in a full-scale active shooter drill. 2 elderly kayakers were rescued Tuesday night after being lost on the Alachny River. A search and rescue was initiated for the kayakers, and first responders looked for the kayakers until around 2 in the morning. They were eventually located miles north of the initial location with the assistance of a helicopter. Both were assessed for injuries, provided blankets and coats, and then pulled out of the area. This is Rachel Anay with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with highs around 83. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected tonight, lows dip down to about 65. Cloudy skies again tomorrow, highs around 80. Turning cooler Sunday and Monday with highs in the low 70s. Chance for scattered rain showers Sunday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 82.
Excellence defines us, so we'll never let orthopedic pain and injury define you. TOC is a physician-led team of fellowship-trained specialists providing the highest level of orthopedic care in the region. With 12 centers of excellence and TOC Now urgent care clinics, our patients access affordable expert care fast. TOC, only experts. Schedule an appointment at teamtoc.com.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpa's, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The Bangka Lechong, Jeff?
Is that what is the pork?
The Bangka Lechong, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chungla. It's delicious. All of these things, all the items,
Yes.
everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
I was watching a game where I thought, I can't do this.
Take it to the farmer's market.
2 plums for one.
Special 2 plums for one.
No, what I was trying to think, like,
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
well, the Bucks have done that to me numerous times in our history.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, there have been plenty of times where I've just been like, okay, I'm done here. I don't, yeah.
The Mets bullpen, middle bullpen, starters out of the game. Like, all right, good job. This is 15 years ago, a little bit more. Pedro turns in 5 solid innings, 1 run, but the pitch count's too high. All right, if we can get to the 8th, we'll be okay. But I don't want to see the 6th and 7th, so I'm going to go spend some. Otherwise, I'm just going to get mad.
I've graduated my fandom from somewhere that I, was for, I don't know, the better part of 40 years, and somehow I don't do it anymore. I used to have to turn the channel.
You used to have to turn the channel and cough while you thought about it.
Sorry about that. I'm coughing. But I used to have to turn the channel to another game while our game was on.
Yeah.
While our game was on, I would turn the channel, and then I'd go, okay, that's it. I can't watch this next series. I can't watch this next possession. Like the Bucks would frustrate me to no end to that point. Where I'm turning off. I can't watch this. You guys are pissing me off. I'll flip it over to the CBS game. I cannot do this right now. I'm going to watch some of the CBS game. Don't care about these 2 teams. I'll flip back, and maybe the mojo will have changed.
Fiedler drops back to pass. Incomplete.
I would do that.
And the Dolphins go 3-0.
Yeah, I would do it back in the day. Just flip it over. I'd be done. And then I'd flip back, hoping that somehow I changed the mojo. I haven't done that in years. Maybe if the Pirates get back into the Major League Baseball playoffs, I will. I mean, there might be where I can't do it. It might happen, but I find the reserve to just. I find the strength to stare at this happening.
No,
I do.
It's bullpens. That's the thing. It's like, well, okay, so 2 on, nobody up. Pedro Feliciano coming in.
And you're like, son of a.
Nope. I'll bet you when I'm done with a game of Halo, he'll be out of the game one way or the other.
I don't have to watch this ass ruin my day.
Play a game, 12 minutes, I'm done. They've either put 4 more on the board, somebody else is pitching, or we're hitting. And we're hitting, and the score's the same. Like, okay, he got out of it. I can't watch him. I refuse.
That's funny. I can there aren't too many moments in Florida State games anymore that affect me to the place where I can't do it, where I have to like walk around in the other room or something like that.
Agreed. Knowles football, no problem. I've seen it all. I am prepared for anything. Boston College tried me. It tried me, but I stayed steadfast.
I was remarkably calm for Jacksonville State when it happened.
Well, yeah.
I sat there in awe.
Well, because you're frustrated, but you don't think you're actually going to lose. You're just embarrassed, and then they score in the final play. So you don't even have – like if they were at the 10 and there were 3 timeouts called and you're just living with the fact that they're
with it all,
at the 10-yard line, it feels different than the manner in which they close the deal.
Yeah, man. I honestly, when that happened, when the ball was in the air and he caught it, and I saw that buffoonery where everybody's bumping into each other and not making play, I'm like, would you look at this? And Bryce was standing right there, like, we just lost. We just lost. Click. Walked right down the hall and went to bed. And I thought of you. I felt bad for you because I knew you had to do the post game.
Mm-hmm.
Now why do I bring that up? Because look where we are now.
I was going to say, please
Look,
bring us back.
Look where we are now.
Libations can drown your sorrows, or you can toast.
How quickly this can happen, though, if you get the right guy. It's about getting the right guy, obviously, and then watching him go to work. And, we still have really lofty expectations. And what I've talked about and described before on this run has been that Mike is graduating to a different level as a coach. This is true both in terms of our expectations in the fan base, but also the way he's perceived nationally. Mike will now be considered one of the better coaches in college football. This season solidifies that. That's what this season has done for him. If you're just looking at it from his career trajectory, he goes from having done a very good job at Memphis. People noticed, thought he was an up-and-coming young coach, was going to get an opportunity. His name was mentioned for other jobs, including the Arkansas job.
Was he just continuing what Fuente did, or was it on his own?
Right. We didn't know. There were question marks, right? And so is that him or is it not him? Okay, so he gets the job at Florida State, and it's under really tough circumstances, to say the least. Not only are you replacing a guy who just failed, but he replaced a guy who was failing at the end of his time too. So you've had years stockpiled on each other now, and you're having to undo not one culture, but two cultures worth of, I think, probably locker room disgust. I mean, you've got brokenness everywhere you look. And now you've got to not only instill the way we're going to go about doing things, but also you got a message, and you got to get kids to buy in, and then you got to coach them up, and you got to find a way to recruit, and you got to win games. You got to do all this. You got to win the fans over, all of it.
I wonder how he would describe the look in his players' eyes with his introductory meeting with them. Hi, I'm Mike Norvell. I'm your new head coach. I wonder what the expressions on their face look like, because coaches have to be so attuned to the facial expressions of their players in any sport, because you got to know if they're with you, if they're not, if they're engaged, if their head's on a swivel.
Sure.
Van Dyke, for example. You could look in his eyes last week, and I'm sure
it's everywhere.
He's like, what's his name from the Jets? Gase in the press conference. Remember Adam Gase? He's got that look. Well, how would he describe the players? Broken. Do they not trust him already just because he's a head coach?
No reason to.
Right.
No reason to.
Been here before, looking in their eyes like,
no. Well, you're going to have to earn it, is what that is. You're going to have to earn it. There's no doubt. And really, honestly, and Briley, I agree, it's very rare that you would see this kind of resurgence to this degree this quickly. But remember, Mike does have a distinct advantage, and he's taken advantage of it, that he lives in the portal era. But this would not have been possible pre-portal. The vast majority of the excellence you see on Saturdays on the field for Florida State are the byproduct of a transfer.
I think that's, in a way, you couldn't have planned it. Pretty fair, though, because he wasn't able to establish high school relationships for 2 years, essentially 2 cycles.
Correct.
And with how good of a recruiter he is and how uniform everybody is from different parts of the country, be it high school coaches or players, about how affable Mike is and how he will challenge you, and he's got his own unique pitch and his own style. Could you imagine where we would have been recruiting class-wise if he had a fair chance in the class of 21 and the class of 22, where he could have gone down to high schools and forged these relationships? So in a way, the portal balances out what he was unable to do, because now in retrospect, he would have been a badass from the word go. You give him the new car smell of a new program.
Correct. We would have made
waves, man, immediately in the recruiting world.
Probably. He doesn't have connections the way that some of the coaches have had upon entering a new program within the state. But yeah, probably. Mike is a fun guy to be around if you're a player. If you're a football player, he loves football players. He loves the guys he was a football player. He loves to put in the work. He loves to talk about the work. He likes to talk about service. He likes to talk about commitment to each other and a way you go about the process on a daily basis. These are things a lot of coaches do, but he's young enough that you get that energy because he's also the first guy there. He's working out at 4:00 in the morning, getting ready for practice and all those things. So when you see that, now you've got this guy where it's palpable, right? And And he shows a love and appreciation for it. The only reason I know that is, again, I was very fortunate. He invited me, along with other people, into his home before that spring game, where I watched the team gather, and I watched his speech to the team. And I listened to what he said after dinner and what they did while they were swimming in the pool and having a good time at his house, man. That's pretty cool, right? And the passion with which he spoke and the way they responded when he talked to them, it's a little bit different than when you see him on the dais. This was a connection. This wasn't I'm trying to win the room over and say the right thing. This was I'm connected. We're working hard together. We're out there every day together.
Even more so than a post-game breakdown, because that he's speaking to two people
Well,
at the same
he knows
time.
it's being filmed, and he knows,
he's speaking to recruits,
correct,
and boosters, but he's also speaking to the players. So I'm sure, it was probably different than even that.
Yeah. So it was very genuine. It was touching, and a lot of the players responded to that, and literally engulfed him and gave him a hug. It was cool to watch, and I remember saying at that time, Andy Staples was in town, and I said to him, "Man, that's different. That's awesome." And he agreed. He nodded his head. He goes, "Oh, this could be cool. This could be cool." And, we were just kind of talking about what this might mean. They were still a ways away. But when you see that connection, when you get a guy that players want to play for, that not just that they fear, but they want to play for, there's a difference. And I think also if they buy into whatever the pitch may be, if they believe that is real, that is what he honestly believes, it's a lot different than a mantra. It's a lot different than just, kind of a cool catchphrase. This is a thing. This is how you live. This is how you build together. And that's happened. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
It's Ed Dean, Florida's #1 statewide radio talk show, now in Tallahassee, afternoon drive from 5 to 6 p.m. right here on Real Talk 93.3 FM. Yes, highly entertaining, fast-paced, never boring. We always give you the story behind the story when you catch the Ed Dean radio show. And we are ready to go Tallahassee daily, 5 to 6 p.m. It's the Ed Dean radio show on Real Talk 93.3 FM WVFT.
The leaves are starting to fall. The temperatures will start to fall. And the prices are falling right now at Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas. Incredible dealer discounts up to $5,000 are available on all hot spring spas. The industry leader in hot tubs and spas. If you've never experienced the sensation and relaxation of having your own hot tub in your backyard on a cool evening, you're truly missing out. The cold months are coming, and now's the time to set yourself up for the best winter season you've ever had. Plus, you'll gain the added health benefits of reduced stress, relief of sore muscles, and better sleep. You'll feel so relaxed after a nice soak in your new hot spring spa. You'll experience some of the best sleep of your life. Head over to Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas on Greer Road and check out their huge showroom packed with the best selection of hot tubs and spas available. And ask about getting up to $5,000 in discount, low interest financing, and a free accessory to make your hot tub dreams come true. If you're ready to relax, Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas is ready to show you how.
I'm Greg Tisch, and I'm here to tell you about TCC's first semester. In the fall of 1966, about 300 students were expected to enroll at the brand new Tallahassee Junior College. A total of 698 enrolled, exceeding everyone's expectations. The campus was not finished, though, so classes took place in Rickards High School and then Godby High School. Today, TCC has 7 campuses and enrolls around 15,000 students annually.
TCC thanks our community for 58 years of support. We look forward to moving into the future together.
The weather is unpredictable and can cause issues around your home. Weston Trawick provides commercial, residential, and industrial electrical wiring services, yearly inspections on fire alarms, portable generator cells, and so much more. With 24/7 emergency service and repair, Weston Trawick will be your calm in the storm. Give them a call at 514-0003. Weston Trawick, professional electrical services day or night. Visit online at westontrawick.com.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Knowles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee. The latest betting odds and line movements from Vegas. This is your action update. Now here are your latest lines from our guys in the desert.
Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday, a 3-point dog to the San Francisco 49ers at total 45. Trevor Lawrence over-under passing prop bet. 237.5 passing yards, 1.5 touchdown tosses. That's minus 150 to the under. At his career, Lawrence 31-13 to the under in his touchdown passing prop bet. NFL props analyzer available at VSIN.com. College football tomorrow. The Florida Gators, a 13.5-point road dog at LSU. Florida State, 15-point home favorites with Miami. College basketball today. Virginia, 1.5 favorite over Florida at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. Florida State, 11.5-point home favorite against Kennesaw State. Get your free VSiN subscription right now at VSIN.com. For more sports betting news and information, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, Real Talk 93.3.
Get early access to Macy's Black Friday specials and save big on gifts for everyone on your list right now while supplies last. Like winter-ready women's sweaters, $12.99 to $19.99. Fine jewelry, 60 to 75% off. And cozy up to comfy throws, just $9.99 to $39.99. Plus, get your online order even faster with store pickup, now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply. Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
The Challenger Learning Center presents Impact Week 2023, November 13th through the 17th. Experience a week long of free events and join in on Domi's Pitch Event, a chance for area entrepreneurs to pitch their business for a chance to win $22,000 in cash and in-kind prizes. Experience our community's dynamic energy firsthand. To learn more about the event, see a list of topics and talks, and to register for free, go to impactweek.info.
Hi, Taco.
Hey, champ, how you doing? Pull up a pillow. Haven't seen you in a couple of days. Hey, something's different about you.
That's right. My people took me to Tally Spay, the affordable spay and neuter clinic on West Tennessee.
Tally Spay? Isn't that the place where they...
Yeah, they're a low-cost, high-volume spay-neuter clinic.
So you're saying you've had some work done?
I did. You'd think I'd be depressed, but truth is, I don't even miss them. All I know is my family is much happier now that I've been altered. My people even brought Mr. Jingles to Tally Spay.
Tally Spay, a low-cost, high-volume spay-neuter clinic open to the public, serving Tallahassee and the surrounding areas. How you feeling, Mr. Jingles? Ugh. You're right, it is a lot nicer. Go to tallyspay.com. That's tallyspay.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Today we'll be over there after the show, 5:00. Sit down, do a little kind of a pseudo 30-minute show there. I think Corey and myself, and kind of have a good time talking over there. And then we'll sit around and have a cold beer and shake hands and thank people who served for their service. Happy Veterans Day in advance, everybody. Being honored today for a lot of people. Obviously, it's tomorrow, but happy Veterans Day. Your dad's a veteran. My dad's a veteran. And so is one of my brothers. So doffing of the cap to all who served.
And that show will take place today, just outside. It's on the back deck, and that way it'll be nice. It's a shaded side of Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. They don't get that setting sun, so it should be beautiful weather to enjoy. Again, that show will be from about 5 to 5:30, and then the meet and greet commences. This year's been more about handshake and saying a little welcome to town, but it's Miami week. One more show with a little bit more juice isn't a bad thing. So 5:00 on the channel for those of you that are watching on YouTube right now.
It's been fun to be able to do that and to get to know people, talk with folks that I hadn't met before. There've been a lot of folks coming to town. I imagine today would be the most amount of people we've had over there.
Yeah.
Given the magnitude of this game and how well this team has played and how excited this fan base is. That's another thing that I have. I do think that the experience of covering this for a very long time, you can gain some perspective as the years go past. One of the things I love is that I love watching the surge of enthusiasm and enjoyment of Florida State football when they turn the corner, when they get good, when they come out of a lull of playing poor or whatever it might be. And this, we could see this coming. We saw the writing on the wall. Going into that 10-3 season, we talked about the importance of that year. And remember, I warned that if he didn't do it, if he didn't have an opportunity to gain some footing, it could avalanche. It's that sometimes the margins are very, very fine between success and failure, between, a coach being defined as good or poor or whatever it might be. But he needed to have some wins and he got them. And then you felt like, okay, between the wins and then retaining the services of certain players, bringing in still others. Okay, you just got to win one of the two big ones of the first four. Turns out he won them both. And that's what's led to 9-0 and Florida State being in a position to be talked about as a college football playoff team. And they're going to be heavily favored. The percentage chance that they finish off this regular season undefeated is pretty high. It's not a guarantee. We know this team has some faults, and if they don't play well, they could get beat. But if they do, if they're focused, if they're right, if they're healthy, most importantly, I do think they'll finish the regular season undefeated.
I think they're going to if they win tomorrow. I think tomorrow is that important, because then you got a nice little run up to the Florida game after Thanksgiving. You get a week to it's so tough. We've done this in the past. I think maybe even the championship year of 2013. I feel like we played Miami in November that year too. With Florida coming to town a little bit later that month. Or we went down there.
I was going to say.
And that was the Kelvin Benjamin game where he realized, I can just ragdoll people very well.
It was fun.
Sounds good. I think 31-7 might have been the final.
Yeah, I went to that game. That's the famous throw out of the end zone from Jameis.
That 31-3.
Yeah, it was an ass beating.
Yeah. There was a good photo from that. Did you end up taking that?
No, you got the photo.
I don't have it. No.
I think our guy, whatchamacallit, took it.
Okay. Oh, I got you. He might have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would ask about it.
That's a great photo.
It is a great photo.
But I feel like if you can finish the job tomorrow against Miami, and then you put yourself in a position to rest up for 2 weeks for Florida, and then obviously the ACC championship game, which, boy, we weren't going to know who the hell we were playing if Louisville had lost last night, but they did not.
I think screwed me, did Louisville. We're off to a weak start.
I think it's right in your crosshairs. I think you're going to go 12-0 if you just take care of business tomorrow. Stop the run, line up, stop the run. They don't have much else. Stop the run, and we'll be in good shape.
I just want to see two things. Are you starting Tyler Van Dyke? And is Florida State healthy? If the answer is yes to both, feeling pretty good. Third thing I'd want to see is, are you able to stop the run? If your answer is, us. If the answer is yes, then there's a recipe for a blowout. All three of those things, there's a real recipe for a blowout. In fact, if you put a stamp on those three things, it will be a blowout. If Van Dyke starts looking as broken as he has, and Florida State stops Miami's run game, and the Noles are healthy, this is a blowout. Those are all big ifs. I don't know.
But they're all plausible.
They're all very plausible.
They all can happen.
And it would be, a joy to watch yet again. It's rare that you have back-to-back seasons in which you could manhandle Miami. What a message to be able to send to recruits on a busy weekend, as busy a weekend as we've had for recruits. Hey, you remember last year when we won 45-3? How about today's ass kicking? The
other thing with that too is just first possession of the game, turn in a stop. We've done that more times than not this year. It feels like we haven't, but our defense has come out and gotten stops early in games more likely, more consistently than not. You do that, you got the crowd in it for the entirety of the first quarter at minimum. The only thing that could happen where this atmosphere turns weird is it's 7-0 on their first drive. And you go, whoa, hang on here. Then there's a little antsiness in the crowd. Nobody freaks out just yet, but it's not quite as raucous as it won't be the continuation of the pregame atmosphere, which I know is just going to be berserk. And this is the one, unique situation. I enjoy doing the postgame show and watching from my abode so I can see replays and be educated on what happened. TV affords you that opportunity, but damn it, man, tomorrow it is going to be rabid in there. And you're going as what, a press member, or are you sitting in the seats with your dad?
I'm going to probably try to do both. I'm going to go up on the roof for a while, as is tradition, and then I will make my way down into the stands to sit with my father and two boys.
You will hear that crescendo. That was always the best part of standing on the roof, was the sound travels onto the field, and then rises up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That Virginia team that lost last night to Louisville by 7 in what was a fun game to watch and would have been disastrous for the ACC had Louisville lost at home, game where they started out comfortably and then saw it fall to pieces. By the way, that kid for Virginia, the starting quarterback there who made so many plays, Lakewood High School, not surprising. But that said, if you look around Virginia, what a weird-ass season. On the one hand, you'd say, well, they're 2-7, Jeff. They're not very good. On the other hand, they have a 7-point loss on the road to Louisville, an overtime loss by 3 on the road against Miami. They have a 4-point win over Virginia. They have a 3-point loss to Boston College, a 3-point loss to NC State. They have a 1-point loss to an undefeated James Madison team. They think about what their season could look like. Now, I'm not telling you they're good, because mixed in there is a bad loss to Maryland. There's a bad loss a couple weeks ago to Georgia Tech where they get blown out. So it's not like they've been on the cusp every week. But man, when you lose by 7 on the road to Louisville, and when you beat North Carolina and you lose by 3 in overtime to Miami, and you lose by 3 to NC State on the road, and you're right there in these games. It's weird. They've been pretty close, and they almost pulled it off last night, but it's the story of their season. They just can't find a way to win these games.
Do you feel better, worse, or the same about Louisville after watching last night?
I feel better. I do feel better. I feel good about our I think Louisville's well coached. I think he's getting the most out of that club, but they're lacking in some key areas. So I feel pretty good. You go all the way back. Louisville's been a strange team this year. They barely beat Georgia Tech first game of the year. Well documented. I told you I watched that game from a bar in Gainesville. They won by just 7 at home against a bad Indiana team. Remember that? 21-14. They won by 3 against NC State, 13-10. Hard-fought game. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. NC State's got a very good defense. They blew out Notre Dame, really kind of dominated that game from start to finish, but then turned around and got blown out by Pitt. Turned around and stomped Duke, stomped Virginia Tech, your favorite team, and then last night beat Virginia 31-24. So it's been a weird season for them. They're competent. They're more than competent. They're 9-1. If you tell a Louisville fan before the season that Brahms your guy, you brought him home, let's see what you are. Well, you're 9-1 through 10. I think most would take it.
For sure. And if it goes chalk this weekend with the matchups in the top 10, That means that Louisville likely will be number 9 in the country next week in the college football playoff rankings because you have the current number 9 and 10 teams in position to lose if it goes chalk.
Here's what's interesting about Louisville. If we talk about what we need and what would look good for us and how it projects and all those things, I think the result of tomorrow's game for Florida State directly affects what Louisville does on the road against Miami. Miami loses this game, and if they lose this game badly, I think Louisville will walk in there and stomp their ass next Saturday in Miami. Miami wins this game, I think Louisville loses on the road in Miami. They'll be watching our game very closely tomorrow, I think.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I was watching last night with a little bit more intent, like circling things that, for Charlotte, assuming it would be them that we play, what are some, things that you see, some trends from their offense? The one thing about Plummer, it has to be on time for him. There has to be a little bit of anticipation, has to be on time. Does it look like it comes out of his hand a little bit fluttery to you? Not quite Chad Pennington, but
it's not
more a little rainbow action on.
No, it's not. It's not great. Not a cannon.
Not a cannon.
Not a cannon.
But he anticipates well. But you could be jumping that now.
Well, let's see if we are capable, right? Let's see if we can. We haven't been ball hawks.
No, we only have 6 picks this year.
Remember zone eyes?
I thought we'd have so much more than that.
Remember zone eyes and all that we talked about and how aggressive they were at the start of the year?
They look great in camp in the turnover department. 6 this year.
Yeah.
Now, if Van Dyke starts, you get to about 8 or 9 by the end of tomorrow's game.
You get 3 picks in this game. This Katie bar the door, looking at another huge number. I mean, seriously.
That's the other thing. Like, if we're healthy enough, and that matters on offense greatly. But, I mean, they weren't emotionally peaked for Pitt. They were in a weird way for Wake Forest. They were ready to play that game emotionally.
Couldn't wait.
They were professional last week. I'm not saying that they took
wanted
that
to dominate
lightly.
Wake, though. They wanted to dominate Wake.
They did, and they did.
Yeah, they did, and they did. That's right.
They want to dominate tomorrow too, man.
Oh, hell yeah, they do.
This is that's where if you're going to say this can get away from Miami, there's a part of me that says there's nothing that they can do about it. Even if Van Dyke plays well and they bring the running game, if we have that type of emotional peak, just like we did for Wake, again, it's weird to say, but if we're ready in that regard,
Wake was owed an ass beating.
They were.
They were owed that ass whooping.
It's a nooner. It was good to see. It was good to see that was in us. But if we have that tomorrow, man, maybe by halftime we are smiling.
College football is unique that way. It's just not true of pro football at all. Road teams win all the time in the NFL. It's no big deal to go on the road, even if the team that you're playing has a distinct home field advantage, as in historically they're loud or they've done a good job of, like there are places, Lambeau Field, Seattle. Arrowhead can be tough. Green Bay can be, I said Lambeau. But yeah, there are a few places. Well, back in the day, it used to be tough to go up to Chicago, but not anymore. Everybody just goes ahead and wins. Although I had Chicago last night. Anyhow, so that said,
that was a close one.
Well, yeah. Man, do you think the fine folks in Carolina are getting worried they got the wrong guy?
Both ways.
Oh, I mean,
coach and quarterback.
But quarterback he's sus. I mean, it's not looking
good. Whoa, you dropping sus? Look at you.
It's not looking good. My man has to work to get the ball downfield. It's weird watching him. I'm like,
it's been beaten out of him already.
This isn't good.
Even if you were going to give him
but I'm talking about physically, it looks like it may be too much.
He was hit 42 times in the first 3 weeks of the season, and I'm not really exaggerating by that much.
They may want to draft quarterback.
Well,
they gave their pick to the Bears. They're screwed.
Yes, they did. They sure did. The young me who watched Jake Delhomme and Steve Smith and Steven Davis and Deshaun Foster smiles.
Of course.
In this moment. They've been an afterthought for a while, but every once in a while I look at that jersey, I go, remember when you hated them?
Yes.
You hated their guts.
Yes, and they had so many good running backs that
they did.
Trucked our defenders. It was the worst thing. It's a miracle that Rondé made the Hall of Fame, because the Carolina games alone saw him looking up at asses and elbows on the regular.
Yeah, there was also
oh man,
there was a game against San Francisco on the road where they had him play man against T.O.
No, not what you.
He wouldn't have made it as a man-to-man corner.
He would not have. He was a hybrid corner and a good one. A really good hybrid corner.
So one thing that Dominic Robinson broke down from their game plan last week, this is Miami's game plan against NC State, Some of it has to do with the 3-man front, the 3-3-5. But they threw a lot of bubbles. And he says, whether you're going to have Van Dyke or Emery Williams, certainly you want no thought throws. Just get it out of his hand.
Yeah.
Man, if they go to the bubble tomorrow, we are so primed to stop that.
We typically love to come downhill and hit.
Not outside corners who get run over, but dudes who like to get downhill. Please.
Yeah.
Please do that. Let that be an extension of your run game because we will feast on it.
Spartan Noel, you answered Zyler's question the way I would have answered that question as we go to break. He wanted to know who we should look out for Miami. And, yeah, Fletcher's a really good player at running back, and I've liked him all year long.
And Brashard Smith, he's a gadget player, but that's their kick returner who, if you're in the wrong gap, he's gone.
Yeah, don't do that. Just get out of the back of the end zone. Don't put yourself in a position to get hurt in special teams. And then Bain on the defensive side is a menace, and he looks like a guy who should be named Bain.
The fire rises.
He's a monster. When you look at him, you go, well, damn it, man. We could use that. That guy is a hoss. So, yes, that's the right answer. Good job, Spartan Noel.
I would say if you're Mike Norvell and you want to congratulate the Miami players after we beat them on the field, you hold Bain in for a little longer for a hug. He's a great playing young man. You are a spectacular
Imagine
player.
What you could do on a real team.
You remind me so much of Jared Verse and Jermaine Johnson. I swear to God, I love
Both
you.
of them will be playing in the NFL, of course, you know that. But get on in here. I'd love to play with you. Love to play with you at some point. Just throwing that out there. You safe travel, son.
The double tap on the chest plate.
Sorry about that 56-0 ass kicking.
It's fun here, isn't it?
People come to our games. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. There's no doubt that buying a home can feel overwhelming, especially if it's your first home. You're worried about location, school zones, square footage, inspections, insurance, loan approvals, interest rates, and of course the price. Buying a home could be the most significant investment you've ever made. But there's good news. You have our friends at Legendary Home Loans, and they're on your side and in your corner. They're going to go to bat for you. Shannon Young from Legendary Home Loans can help first-time home buyers get up to $25,000 for your down payment. For first responders, veterans, teachers, military, and healthcare workers. And that's not all. Shannon is an expert navigator of the home loan terrain, and you can trust that he's going to get you the most competitive interest rates and guide you through the process every step of the way. Plus, Shannon will also get your closing costs reduced. It's the Hometown Heroes program at Legendary Home Loans. Give them a call today, 844-FSU-LOAN. That's 844-FSU-LOAN. Or go to FSUHomeLoans.com and ask for Shannon Young.
NMLS number 2270146.
Widden Glass has been taking care of business since 1945. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. Widden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
The leaves are starting to fall. The temperatures will start to fall. And the prices are falling right now at Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas. Incredible dealer discounts up to $5,000 are available on all hot spring spas. The industry leader in hot tubs and spas. If you've never experienced the sensation and relaxation of having your own hot tub in your backyard on a cool evening, you're truly missing out. The cold months are coming, and now's the time to set yourself up for the best winter season you've ever had. Plus, you'll gain the added health benefits of reduced stress, relief of sore muscles, and better sleep. You'll feel so relaxed after a nice soak in your new hot spring spa. You'll experience some of the best sleep of your life. Head over to Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas on Greer Road and check out their huge showroom packed with the best selection of hot tubs and spas available. And ask about getting up to $5,000 in discount, low interest financing, and a free accessory to make your hot tub dreams come true. If you're ready to relax, Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas is ready to show you how.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks. We we fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back to the Jeff Cameron Show, sponsored by Legendary Home Loans, a mortgage experience designed around speed, simplicity, and customer service. Before you buy your next home, contact our friend Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
Quite a life lived. Quite a life lived.
I can imagine just by listening.
Well, Shane's had a good time. We got to do this, and I always look forward to it. It is it's fun to do the red zone elements. I never know what Tom is going to ask of me, what the questions are going to be. But before we get started, as always, I want to remind you who sponsors this, and it is it's a good time. It's for me. When you have advertisers and people that you collaborate with that you trust and believe in and like working with, like we do with the Artisan Financial Strategy Group, then it makes it all the more fulfilling for all of you out there. We all know how important it is to score in the red zone. But are you prepared for success in the retirement red zone? The 5 years leading up to your retirement date, the immediate 5 years after, are a critical time of thoughtful planning for you and your family. Our friend and fellow Knoll, die hard, I might tell you, Adam Toller, his team at Artisan Financial Strategies are prepared to coach you to victory. Some of us are at midfield. Some of us are down along the goal line. You need to know the deal to try to get it across that goal line, whether you're making sure you know how much you can spend without running out of money, also protecting yourself against the rising healthcare costs that we see now, carefully planning your legacy, whatever it might be. The Artisan team brings a combined 30-plus years of experience, planning experience, world-class resources. They'll help you navigate what can be pretty difficult to do, so you'll feel much better about it. Just check it out, knollretirement.com. That is knollretirement.com. Questions, sir, after the wonderful intro.
Welcome to the majesty.
Every freaking rep.
The elegance.
To win the game. Oh, he hits the upright. It's no good.
You have entered.
Someone burned down the funeral home. You burnt the funeral home.
Lives will be changed.
Sideline. Touchdown. Unbelievable.
Mothers will cry.
When you see your players give all that they have and you lose that way, it's tough.
Legacies are etched into eternity.
I know who I am.
North South Dakota was his brother from West Virginia.
This is the Red Zone.
It's good to know.
By the way, I want to answer Briley's question before we get into your questions of me, and just say this about what you asked, Briley. Don't give up hope, buddy. Don't give up hope here on that particular question. That's all I'll say. All right, sir, here we go. What do we got?
What was he talking about? Was it a certain defensive lineman?
He might have wanted to know about a certain guy.
Well, for the people driving around in their
LJ
cars.
McCray.
There we go. Yeah, they're like, hey,
Yeah.
I don't know who Briley is.
Yeah, LJ McCray is in town. He'll be here at the game. Don't you find that curious so soon after committing? That's weird.
Didn't commit to us, did he?
No, but he's here.
Interesting.
He's here checking it out. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, we'll see.
All right, the first down question. This is a straightforward week.
First down.
There's no messing around
No.
because it's about our game and our
No
game.
pussyfooting.
No, sir. Florida State running backs will amass over or under 92.5 rushing yards tomorrow.
Over.
Really?
Oh, second half route. They're running the
Okay.
ball right up their
You're worried
caboose,
about the
buddy.
defensive
Yeah.
The caboose. That's why I said running backs, not Jordan, the running backs. All right.
Yeah, they'll combine for more than 92 yards rushing.
Okay. Second down. We're ahead of the chains here.
Yeah, we're rolling.
Miami running backs will amass over or under 125.5 rushing yards tomorrow.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's all they got. Is it all they need?
It's not all they need. 125?
125.5 plus the hook.
Over.
Oh, that was a tough second down.
That was a tough second down.
Okay.
We fell forward for a yard.
Okay. Hopefully they don't.
Yeah.
Third down. Which defense will produce a higher tackle for loss count? Remember, sacks are included in the tackle for loss count.
We gave up 11 tackles for loss against Pitt.
Did we? They got Van Dyke who might just sit down and give you 3.
I know. That's the hard part about this. I would say they'll have more tackles for loss than we will. Because our traditional run game will get stuff for minus a yard with the best of them. I'll tell you that.
So you think Miami will have more tackles for loss at the end of the day?
Golly, that's a great question, Tom. Screw you for that question. But yeah, I think so.
All right. On fourth down, I'll give you a choice. Would you rather have a question about the wide receivers or the quarterback tomorrow?
Quarterback.
Okay. Jordan Travis will account for over or under 312.5 yards of offense. So that's adding up his rushing total.
Over.
Which sacks are in play.
Over.
Over 312.
Yeah, because I think he's going to have one real long run. I think in their efforts to pressure, he's going to make somebody miss, and they're going to be in man, and he's going to go. And it's going to be a 37-yard run, some sort of big play like that. And then I think he'll throw for a good 275. And then from there, I could see him having another few scampers.
So yesterday's number on the show, we didn't have the over-unders.
Prize Picks,
267.5, I think.
Is that what it turned out to be?
It's 271.5. That's what they think.
Yeah.
So you think it would take, you like that number, though?
Well, we got to throw to run. So he's going to throw a lot, and then I think he'll get enough of those scampers that I talk about. Look, this is a game where he'd be willing to incorporate his legs. Air it out. You got North Alabama next weekend. There's no reason to hold anything in reserve here. Jordan, if you got to run to loosen things up and create the math necessary for our other backs to be able to run or to create drive-sustaining plays, this is a game to do it. You know, you don't do it necessarily against Wake. You don't do it necessarily against Pitt. You don't do it against necessarily some of these other teams that you could probably win without having to. But in a game like this, Miami's a real team. They have some real players and guys that can hurt you if you don't play well. You got to utilize everything you have. And Jordan is truly unique, truly special. And when they utilize all of what he brings to the table, it's nearly impossible for defenses to get him completely shut down.
So this is interesting. Now, from the financial services department to the accounting department, you have Florida State going well over because of the second half route, the running back total of 92.5 yards.
I'll just say over.
You felt very confident about that.
I think they can get to 100 yards rushing. Like, if they get up by a couple scores late in the game and Miami is devoid of hope because their offense hasn't moved the ball and they're getting worn down, you can see how this happens. Look what we did last week. That run up the gut at the end was the byproduct of several terrible runs for a yard, a half yard, no yard, and then finally they just collapsed, and you had to – and Trey is capable of obviously housing a lot of these.
Yeah, it's 2021 all over again for us. But, okay – so I'm just doing the accounting here, though. You think that tomorrow's offensive output is going to be over 450 yards? That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I think there's a chance. Listen, they had 500-plus yards against Pitt, who played very good defense, and we had none of our players.
There you go. There's 300 in the first half, essentially.
That's how good they can be. You look up and you go, this hasn't felt right. Oh, 500 yards of offense. That's how good they've been this year. And if they're healthy, yeah, man, I don't know who's holding them down.
I'm not trying to jinx things, but it would be very hard to lose tomorrow if we have 500 yards of offense. It would be very, very hard to lose in that situation.
Yeah, agreed. It would be. You'd have to turn it over, or you'd have to just not get stops in the run game. I mean, if they run the ball and can throw off a play action and slow our rush down, yeah, it could be a problem. But I like us. I do. I really feel strongly that we'll wear them down. I think this could be a little weird. It could be annoying.
Well, rivalry games, typically. Yeah, they do that.
I think we could end up frustrated for a couple of quarters, but we've experienced that this year. I mean, think about the halftime of the LSU game. We gave up nearly 300 yards of offense in the first half. You're like, well, sweet Jesus. and then come out and dominate.
Yeah, we don't bat an eyelash at that
No.
type of adversity. Like Clemson, you're about dead. They're up 7, they're about to go score, and then you have the play. You have the Deloach play.
The play.
Which we go to the playoffs, that's the play.
Oh,
That's
without
the one.
question. Without question. Check them out, NoelRetirement.com. Our friends at Artisan Financial Strategies. Go check them out again, NoelRetirement.com. It's all one word. And find out how you can protect yourself and your family moving forward and be financially secure. It's Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Leon County Sheriff's Office is investigating a suspicious death at Carr Lake after a man's body was found. The incident unfolded around 9:30 a.m. in the 400 block of Cedar Hill Road in northern Leon County yesterday. No more details have been released at this time. Anyone with information regarding the incident should contact LCSO detectives at 850-606-3300 or to remain anonymous, contact Crime Stoppers at 850-574-TIPS. The reward of up to $5,000 is being offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction of individuals responsible for the burglary of Jasper Ace Hardware. Officers are actively investigating the burglary that took place at the hardware store Wednesday, located at 202 Central Avenue Northwest in Jasper. Anyone with information that could lead to the arrest of individuals involved or lead to the recovery of the stolen firearms should contact ATF at 188-ATF-TIPS. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with highs around 83. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected tonight, lows dip down to about 65. Cloudy skies again tomorrow, highs around 80. Turning cooler Sunday and Monday with highs in the low 70s. Chance for scattered rain showers Sunday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 82.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can pull them to the test.
Your heating and air conditioning system doesn't check with you before it takes a break. That's why we're always ready to help. Any day, anytime, anywhere. And with our annual service agreement, there are no overtime charges. Ever. At Verno Heating and Air, we will always be there for you.
Barry knows heating and air conditioning.
License CAC 1816-186.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpa's, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The pang con lechon, Jeff.
Is that what is the pork?
The pang con lechon, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chungla. It's delicious. All of these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
We were on the same page there. It was almost an impossible pick, but those two teams, it's just a battle of who sucks the least. And I took the Bears, 16-13.
You landed that well. That could be trouble in terms of phrasing. Good job.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I didn't watch a minute of the game.
Yeah. Watched the college, right?
I watched the college game. I watched Virginia and Louisville. Didn't watch one single solitary second of Chicago and Carolina.
Don't you miss Thursday night football with ssteaks? We haven't had that in a long time.
Used to be so good. The games were big. Unfortunately, we used to be on Thursday night way too often. I used to curse weekly.
One of the great ones, I get emotional over it too, was the Go Nerds game.
Stanford. Yeah.
Stanford, Oregon game.
Yeah. And
that was Hogan was the quarterback.
And I remember we had plenty of the most delicious drinks of all time.
Yeah, the Margaronas.
God, a good Margarona is hard to beat, Tom. I haven't had one in a little while. I had one that day I told you about. I was like, oh, I'm going to have a I texted you. I took a picture of it.
That establishment has built one closer to campus, so we could always go to the one on campus.
Nobody's died in there recently? Do you remember the old one?
The old one.
Shaky.
It got there a little bit.
I think not long after we were going there, somebody got shot.
Yeah. We also were there for an event on Cinco, and that was it's amateur hour. You know,
it's Cinco de Mayo.
It's Cinco. It's like New Year's Eve. It's amateur hour.
It can be silly. It can be absolutely silly. Yeah. But I don't remember the last time you had a good Margarona.
I don't either.
Buddy.
I want to have so many Margaronas that I still don't remember how the last time I had a good Margarona.
All right, cue it up. Let's bring Mom in here and find out what's what.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick. Take it away, Jeffrey.
Hello, Mother. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I tell you, that Margarona sounds horrible.
It's delicious.
Is it really?
Oh, it's awesome. It's just a margarita with a tipped over Corona.
Yeah, but there's beer in the margarita?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh.
It's delightful.
I don't like beer, so that's why it just sounds awful to me.
One of these days, you and I will share a Margarona.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I don't know if we'll share it, but I'll take a sip of it.
You can.
You'll probably be enjoying the majority of it.
That's the way it should be.
I love a good margarita, but
yeah.
I don't want to spoil it with beer.
Oh, yeah. You gotta try it sometime, Mom. It's very good. You'd be surprised. You know, the most surprisingly good drink that I've ever had that I had never had was when I went to Lincoln, Nebraska with Kobe, and I went there and he said we're going to drink red beer. I was like, red beer? What are you talking about? And it was 9 a.m. There was a noon kickoff, so we were tailgating, and everybody was drinking red beer. And it's V8 and beer. It's V8 and like a lager, and it's delicious. You would be stunned.
Well, I like V8, and that seems to go together better than beer and margarita. I don't know.
I'm telling you, it was delicious. I must have had 7.
Was anybody still alive for the game?
Oh, of course. I mean, we're not amateur hours around here. You get geared up for the game. You go to the game. You have a good time. It was good.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, Mom, we both had the Bears last night. I'm glad that we stumbled into that one.
Tough to watch.
I didn't watch a second of it. I would not
watch much of it because I tried to get it on my Amazon Prime thing, and it kept saying, wait 1 minute or whatever, and then it would wait, and it would say that there was a problem, try later, and so I was like, oh, forget it. I don't even care about this game. So I didn't. I saw very little.
It sounds like an old person problem, Mom. I'm going to have to help you when I come down there next time.
No, it's not hard to do. I just click right on Amazon Prime. I have it, and it says it's going to show up, and it just doesn't. I don't know. Our signal out here in Booneyville is not the greatest. And so I think maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure.
Colts at Patriots, 9:30 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. Well, and I'll tell you what, that New England didn't do you right last week. I hope you're going to pick Indy.
I'm going to take the Colts. I'm going to take the Patriots again.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, I took Indy.
I believe in you, Bill Belichick. I need you to come around. Hey, I got a player prop for everybody out there. Mac Jones over 21 completions for this game. Mac Jones over 21 completions. They're going to dink and dunk to their tight ends all damn day. It's a good matchup for it. Take Mac Jones over 21 completions. There you go.
Okay.
All right, we got one different right off the bat. Browns at Ravens.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a pretty good game, but I took Baltimore.
As you should. Texans at Bengals.
Oh, Bengals.
49ers at Jaguars.
Now, let me tell you, I think this is my upset special. I really agonized over this, but I took Jacksonville.
I don't think it's an upset. I mean, it is on paper. It's a 3-point spread, but I'll take Jacksonville as well. Yeah.
Oh, I'm proud of you. Oh, good. Because I really think that cross-country flight and everything, I say that all the time, but I do think there's something to it. And I think Jacksonville's good, so I took them.
I took them as well. I think they're good too. The Saints at the Vikings.
Oh, the Saints at the Vikings. Now, wait a minute. I'm not sure who I took in that game. I'm pretty sure I took the Vikings. Yes, I did. Minnesota.
Give me the Saints to go on the road and beat the Vikings. I'll take New Orleans. There we go.
I don't know how in the world. New Orleans is not good.
Well, they're both 5-4. They both suck.
I know. Well, I take in Minnesota. I think that guy that came in for.
I knew you would. You love Dobbs. He's all right. He's whatever.
All right. I'm rooting for him.
Okay. Packers and Steelers.
Steelers. I'm not going against those Steelers anymore. I'm telling you right now. Mike Tomlin is the coach. I took Pittsburgh.
Good thing I took the Texans last week, Mom. Got the big win over the Bucks. Do you think the Bucks?
Oh, God. Yeah, big win. That was the most colossal failure at the end I've ever seen. I'm gonna tell you, I was calling for Bull's head before, and now I'm really. I am taking Tampa Bay because I think they're gonna bounce back, and surely to God, they're not. They should not let Bowles call the defense anymore. But I'm taking Tampa Bay. They're playing at home. I think they've got to win this game. If they don't win this game, then I think their season is in the toilet.
They're 3-5. Their season's pretty much in the toilet. But I would tell you that I think they're going to beat the Titans as well. I'll take them. But I kind of hope they lose because I want to go 3-14 and have the number 1 pick. Come on, Bucks. You can still do it. Lose the rest of your games.
Don't be ridiculous.
Oh, it'd be a great thing to do. Lose them all.
No,
we're not going anywhere.
Well, the only thing about that is then I know they'd fire Bowles.
Right. There you go. You'd get the number 1 quarterback in the draft. You'd be set.
Well, we got the number 1 quarterback a few years back, if you remember. Did diddly squat for him.
Went to a Pro Bowl, threw for over 5,000 yards. You be quiet. Here we go. Falcons at Cardinals.
Moving on. Falcons at Cardinals. I took the Falcons.
Yeah, me too. Lions at the Chargers. Ooh.
That's a good one, but I took Detroit.
Me too, but reluctantly. The Giants at the good Lord. The Giants at the Cowboys.
Oh, I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yes, you are. Commanders at the Seahawks.
Now, this game it bothers me too, but I took Seattle.
Me too. Jets at Raiders.
Oh, Jets at the Raiders. Yeah, I don't know. I took the Raiders, but I don't know about this pick. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, why did I do that?
Well, because the Raiders just won by like 40 last week. They have their new coach, Antonio Pierce, and all.
That must have been what I was thinking. So yeah, I took the Raiders.
I hate this game. I don't think either team is any good at all. I'll take the Raiders as well. Okay, finally, Broncos at Bills.
Buffalo.
Yes, that's it. That's all, Mama. So we know the games we have different.
Okay, golly, that was quick. Yeah, okay, yeah, you have New England and I have Indy, and you have New Orleans and I have Minnesota.
There it is.
And Tom said I'm still 1 up.
You're 1 up. Yeah, we split last week.
Oh my Lord.
Your Bucks cost you.
Hanging on by a thread.
Love you, Mama.
Love you too. Have a good weekend. Do you play at home?
Yeah, against Miami. You know this.
Yeah, I know it's Miami, but I wasn't sure if you were home or not.
No, you forgot last year's 45-3 ass kicking we laid out them down in Miami.
Yeah. Yes, I did. All right. Well, anyway, I'll be watching.
All right, Mom. Love you.
All right. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, it's tough. I could make a case I could have picked the Jets there with that defense against this Raiders team, but
what an outstanding Sunday night football game.
We keep getting screwed with these. Isn't there a good one next Sunday? Did I see that right? They finally have a game a week from now that's like kind of fun. Ugh. This is awful. You got to flex some of these games. We do have a good one, right?
Next Sunday night? No.
No? Maybe it was Monday night I was thinking of.
Minnesota, Denver.
Ew. What's the Monday night game next week?
Eagles, Chiefs next Monday
That's
night.
I knew there was one either Sunday or Monday. Okay, Eagles, Chiefs. Here we go.
You get a decent one next Thursday for bad football, but it's Joe Burrow against the Ravens.
So it's a hell of a game.
There you go.
Freaking Joe Burrow's this beast. Love him. Every week, just kicking ass.
You never doubted him for a second.
No. I couldn't roll old injured Joe out there. That was driving me nuts. They kept rolling out my man with a broken calf. Like, what are we doing? But Joe being Joe, he just said, I'll push through the pain, come out the other side even better. And he has. It's been brilliant. It's been awesome. It is fun to watch that team. He's electrifying. They got great receivers. It's a cool team. I never thought I'd say nice things about Cincinnati, but they're kind of fun to watch.
We're into Cincinnati.
And now, yeah, and now they're a 5. They'll be 6-3 after this week. Good God. See, Stroud throwing for that many yards has to, I mean, my mom's right. That's it, right? I mean, Todd Bowles can't survive.
I would think you'd also be looking at the general manager at this point. Because what indications did you have at the trading deadline a week or two ago that you shouldn't sell pieces? What? You're going to keep your roster? You're going to keep these guys together because we could have gotten some assets.
We could have gotten a lot of assets.
A lot of old dudes who can play on our team.
Yeah, and you could have got rid of all of them. And listen, I know the message that it sends, but we've got eyes. They're 3-5. Yeah. They're not going anywhere.
I love Levante David.
I do too.
You know what? A contender really loves him.
I would have done the unthinkable.
Evans.
Yeah. Gone.
You got to.
Love Mike. Sorry.
Should have extended him so he could set records in your uniform, but you didn't. Now you're here, so you let him go.
You let him go. Yeah, that's correct. Come back. Wrap it up momentarily. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Orthopedic pain and injury deserves effective treatment options now, so you feel better fast. Whether you have joint pain that won't subside or an urgent orthopedic injury, we are the specialists to get you back on your feet. And there's only one thing better than fast care: expert care. We believe you deserve both. TOC, only experts. Learn more at teamtoc.com.
This is Jamie McClenny with Trek Financial in Tallahassee. While domestic equities closed down for the third consecutive month at the end of October, valuations remain near historic highs based on most historic metrics. Managing downside risk in your portfolio is one of the biggest challenges you will face in retirement. While you can't control performance, you can control the risk in your portfolio. Markets are going to do what markets are going to do, but a clearly defined risk management protocol can help to mitigate large drawdowns in your retirement nest egg. Valuations remain near historic highs based on most historic metrics. If you're concerned where this might be headed, give me a call at 850-900-5200 and schedule a time for a risk-focused portfolio review. Or you can visit us on our website at trektlh.com. That's trektlh.com.
Make Jamie your first call for that second opinion. Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Fasig. And I'm Dana Brooks of Fasig Brooks Law Offices. When you're in an accident, traffic cameras can be the best source of evidence to prove who's at fault. That's why Fasig Brooks has partnered with RoadProof to have access to all their traffic camera footage. With RoadProof, we can search our network of traffic cameras to find the evidence that could help you win your case. Call us today to see if we can help find the proof to help you come back stronger. Call us now at 850-777-7777.
I'm Greg Tisch, and I want to share how it all began at Tallahassee Community College. During a quiet moment on a fishing trip in 1963, FSU President Gordon Blackwell looked to Lewis Hill, who was a member of the Leon County Board of Public Instruction, and said, "Lou, why don't you get a junior college?" When Lou told Gordon he felt the college would compete with FSU, Gordon responded, "Nah, you ought to have one." We don't know if they caught any fish that day, but they did catch a big idea.
TCC thanks our community for 58 years of support. We look forward to moving into the future together.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Knolls take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics.
I have focus on so it doesn't light up while I'm doing the show. I can't get messages typically, but I forgot today. So I looked down to see if there were messages because my son has basketball practice today, even though kids don't have school. And so I'm figuring out logistics, and I get this text. And I am accused. Now, you know this. If you're a regular listener to the show, you guys know this. My wife thinks that I throw things away too hastily. She's tired of me getting rid of items and things that I don't think are necessary. And then she'll be like, why'd you get rid of this? I remember one time I threw away I think it was a Christmas tree ornament. And I threw it away because I was like, what is this thing sitting here? We don't need this. And I threw it away. And it turns out it was a Publix ornament. And she had gotten it for our son, Bryce, who loves Publix subs. And I didn't think about it. I just thought it was stupid to have a Publix ornament. And I threw it away. I shouldn't have done that, but I did. And she found it in the garbage. She was like, what the hell? And then I've thrown lots of things away. Sometimes I just don't even tell her. And then she finds out like a year later, whatever happened to that? I don't know.
Have you cleaned out the garage yet?
To some degree.
Oh, okay.
Now, so I get rid of things. So I don't know if you guys can see this. I probably shouldn't do it. Anyhow,
yeah, man, no.
There's this organic coconut nonsense. What is this? Oh, dairy-free organic coconut unsweetened
milk
coffee thingy. Yeah, it's like for coffee, right? And it's been in the refrigerator. It seems to me it's been in the refrigerator a long time.
Did you re-up your NPR, donation, and that's what you got in the mail?
So it's in the fridge. I've never, ever once used it, ever. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, man, that's been in here a while. I don't think that's good. Who's ever going to use? How did we get this? I don't even know. I would never buy this. I don't know why it's here.
You got it with the lapel pin.
I don't know why it's there. So I pick it up, and I look at it, and it's been in there for a couple of months. It's not out of date, but it's been in there a couple of months. And there's not 1 ounce of it that's been used. It has never been used. So I'm like, this is a mistake. I don't know how we got this. Somebody brought this with them at some point. We're never going to use this. I'm tired of it clogging up the fridge. It's bulky. It's in the way.
It's in the way of my beer.
It's in the way of the things I like to reach in and get.
I can't put it too hard in here because of this damn organic coconut milk
crap that we're never going to use. So anyhow, I threw it away. So I threw it away before I left today, but my wife's off. So she came home after dropping Bryce off from basketball, and I get a picture of this organic coconut. It's just this huge picture of the. Why would you throw this away? It's in all caps.
In all caps?
Yeah, she goes, you know nothing about this. I didn't buy this for you. Why did you? And I'm laughing during the break. I'm just going to go, hee hee hee. So I haven't answered, but she put it out on the kitchen counter and took a close-up photo of it. Why? Why would you throw this away?
Fraunhofer.
I should have hidden it underneath some of the other garbage.
You got it. Yeah. You got to up your disposal game here.
So I don't know what happened. She must have like pressed on the thing at the bottom of the garbage can, and the lid opens up, and the lever there, and she steps on that. And she's like, "What the?" What I'm laughing about is picturing her anger when she sees the coconut milk, the top of it.
Jeff.
Oh, why would he throw this away? So anyhow, I got to call her on the way over the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill for our hangout. Yeah.
As you're driving there, how many Zaxby's are you going to pass? Because I heard they constructed a few to handle the bulk
of the people coming into town
arriving this weekend.
I heard it's approaching 200, but I don't think that is true. I think we are down to 181. 181 Zaxby's in town, and platters everywhere tomorrow for the pregame show.
Platters to the left, platters to the right.
All kinds of platters of delicious chicken finger goodness with the sauces to boot, and the celebration is in the air as you've partaken the feast before walking in to see Florida State and Miami. How about that? Find one of your 100 and something Zaxby's here in town, and there you go.
There you go. That's how it's done. Support the Golden Chief Booster. This is a very kumbaya weekend for all involved. Let's support each other.
I wish I could have had a camera in the kitchen. Who threw this away? She had to probably.
It hadn't been open yet, though?
No.
Oh, man.
It was.
You should have Mastromano'd that out to the street.
It was still in date. I threw it away because it was kind of annoying. I thought, I'm never going to use this. Why is this in here? Who put this in here? Why do we have this?
Kick it down the hill.
I was like, this thing's got to go. I'm going to be told that she needed that for some recipe for something. I'm
maybe.
sure, probably.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
But I'm like, well, don't buy it 2 months ago and not use it. What are we
The
doing?
Veterans Day bake sale.
It's clunky. It's in the way of the good stuff. Good work out of you. Good work.
See you in 2 hours.
Director Matthew, and we'll be at the corner pocket in 2 hours, as Tom just noted. Peace. Go Knowles.